Humanity and education are two different things. So humanity has education. Humanity is not education. When you understand education, you understand the difference between ethical and non-ethical movements. A humanity can also be inhuman when it comes to preaching his message of humanity. Because humanity is also a symbolic word for a certain kind of an opinion that one's developed for the goodness and extremism of goodness. That's how I see. But when I say that, we are a bunch of educators, I don't want to call myself we're a bunch of humanities, we're a bunch of humans, and we're discussing this today. No, we're a bunch of educators because I don't want to take a side of humanity. Someone being obsessed with humanity, uh, in my understanding, needs a reality check because there's no balance in their approach. You're being too overly obsessed with your one vision in life, and that's not the balance that we are looking for. I stand with educators. I don't stand with a group of humans. I don't know who are humans. I don't call myself I'm human. No, I'm not human. I am on a non-vegetarian diet. I am not a human. I'm so sorry. That's how I'm immune. That's how I live. That's my lifestyle. I have I have a lot of things which in my life which do not justify humanity, you know, but it justifies the fact that I am keeping those things in the form of ethics. Now people say, how can you say this is ethical to kill a life and eat it? That's when the role of blessings come in the middle. People try to balance things. Okay, we are with blessings, we are really blessed to have this. You can use any image you want. You can use anything that makes you feel like that you're qualifying for this particular kind of an economy because you're really blessed to have this economy, you know and an educator is going to keep their mouth shut on this because as educators we don't want to speak on it. That's how you want to bring it. I don't. Educators don't want to introduce us that way. Educators will literally want to introduce this in a way that even if you're experimenting somebody, you document that I'm experimenting on you. A human to human experimentation is a part of a legal documentation. You cannot experiment on a human brain without taking their immediate consent. What was that movie of Shah Rukh Khan? Zero, right? So Zero, he played a role of a character named Bawa, I think so, Bawa, something like that. That his height was small and he could be easily sent to the space because he was qualifying with the chimpanzee or monkey caliber of reaching out to space or whatever of science, that whatever their educational concepts at that time, what they tried to show. So before asking him to be a part of this, they have been going through the legal consequences of it, and they acknowledge the fact that he's a human before having any of the deficiencies that he have of not having a good height, of not having whatever he's supposed to have, that does not qualify him to go to the space or qualify him to go to the space. They took a charge and he said that yes, I want to. It was his decision, his consent, that I want to go. This is education. Taking consent of somebody is education. We're not saying that we're just picking up any goddamn thing and we just start experimenting on that. No, we don't do that. Sorry. Yes, What you cannot take a consent from are the people who are not parallel to your sensibility, or are the mammals who are not parallel to your sensibility. And I'm talking about animals here. You don't take their consent. But for humans, for people, for someone who's of the same species, of the same communication, of the same sensibility, having those five senses and a thinking mind, you have to take the consent, because that person is at equality with you, while an animal is not at equality with you. It's that simple. An animal will not take your consent. Oh, should I eat you? It won't. If it's hungry, it will eat you. Try to pet a snake, and let's just really question the loyalty here. How much you love him and sleep with a snake, one day it's gonna stop eating, because he's just loving you so much that he wants you inside the tummy. And it'll wait for days, creating space in the stomach so that he can understand your height, weight, and measurements and everything, so that he can easily consume you. So, what are you trying to protect here? What are you trying to preach in terms of humanity here? There's no such thing as humanity. There's just ethics. And the day you hold ethics in your hand, you would not need to churn or work on humanity, because everything will come as a part of consent. The rapes would end because the consent will exist. What is happening with women is actually people are trying to set across a message that, when you pick up an animal forcefully, this is the outcome. But people are not fighting for this. We are trying to save the animals, but we will not save the women. We will not voice out and make a big deal about women being treated wrong, children being treated wrong at little age. And then we are bragging the message of humanity. I'm so sorry, this is not humanity. This is extremism of humanity, which does not qualify you to protect a woman, but qualifies you to protect an animal.